It's 1:37 in the morning, and you're not really deciding to watch one more video. You're deciding who has to wake up tired in a few hours. And because that person isn't in the room yet, the choice feels almost free. That's how small comforts steal from your future. They don't rob you all at once. They do it in little installments you don't even notice signing up for. One more video, one more scroll, one more, I'll deal with it tomorrow. You're not skipping the cost. You're just choosing who pays it. Nobody lies in bed going, "You know what? Let me ruin tomorrow for fun." It's way quieter than that. The alarm goes off, the pillow's still warm, your eyes are basically glued shut, and somehow 9 more minutes starts to sound like a smart financial decision. Or there's a text you should answer, and you decide you'll be in a better headspace for it later. Or you know you should check your bank balance, and you just don't. Because not looking feels lighter than looking. Or you open your laptop, see the one thing you actually have to do, and suddenly your folders desperately need reorganizing. None of it looks dangerous. That's the whole trap. It doesn't feel like you're shaping your life. It feels like you're sneaking a tiny break from it. And nothing actually warns you. There's no little red alert when you stay up too late or let the sink turn into a science experiment. The bill doesn't get canceled. It just changes address. Tonight's, I'll sleep later, becomes tomorrow's pounding head and a brain running on fumes. That impulsive 1 a.m. cart becomes you squinting at your balance next week. And that task you didn't want to touch, still there in the morning. Except now it's got less time around it, less gas behind it, and a fresh coat of dread on top. You don't clock the trade while you're making it, you just feel a bit better for a few minutes. And then whoever you are tomorrow gets handed the rest of the tab. Today gets the comfort. Tomorrow gets the bill. And the messed up part is, the person stuck with all of it tomorrow is still you. Same name, same life. But at 1:37 in the morning, that version of you isn't in the room. Your phone is. Your tiredness is. That soft little hit of not thinking about anything for a while, that's very real. Tomorrow's still just an idea, and ideas have a rough time beating something that feels good right now. Psychologists have a fancier name for this, but it basically comes down to how connected you feel to your future self. Not whether you care about your future. Most of us do, in theory. It's whether the person you're about to become feels real enough tonight to actually go to bat for. When that connection's thin, it's easy to shove the cost down the line. Not because you're some careless idiot who doesn't get it. It's that the discomfort you feel right now is loud, and tomorrow doesn't really have a voice yet. So we hand future you all this credit. We figure he'll wake up sharper, calmer, somehow more of a grown-up. Mostly, he just wakes up with the same life you've got. Plus, whatever you didn't deal with. This is the thing people get wrong about procrastination. They see somebody putting off work and figure, lazy, doesn't care. Usually, that's not it at all. You're not running from the task. You're running from the feeling that hits the second you start, not knowing where to begin. The low-key embarrassment. That quiet little fear that you'll sit down, actually try, and it still won't be good enough. You know the exact moment. Docs open, cursor blinking at you. The thing's right there, and out of nowhere, it becomes urgent to answer some email that doesn't matter, or refill your water, or wipe a counter that was already clean, or check the same app you checked 4 minutes ago. From the outside, it looks ridiculous. From the inside, it feels like relief. You just bought yourself 10 more minutes of not having to feel it. And yeah, in case this is starting to sound preachy, I do every bit of this too. That's why procrastination usually isn't a time management problem. It's a mood management problem. The phone doesn't touch the task, but for a couple minutes, it fixes how the task feels. And the bill almost never lands as one big dramatic blow-up. It comes out in tiny withdrawals. You sleep a little less. You're snappier with people than you mean to be. You've got nothing left for the ones you actually love. You burn money you didn't plan to. You wake up already behind, hauling that ever-growing list of stuff you're totally getting to soon. Then something quieter shifts, and this one's the expensive one. You start to not really believe yourself anymore. Not in some big crash, just a little at a time. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow, and some part of you goes, yeah, sure, pal. You swear you'll save money, get to bed earlier, send the message, finish the thing. And after enough broken promises to yourself, your plans stop sounding like plans. They start sounding like sticky notes you keep leaving around and ignoring. You never stop wanting a better life. You just stop expecting yourself to show up for it. That's what makes this kind of debt so brutal. It doesn't only cost you time, or money, or sleep, it costs you trust in yourself. Now, this isn't me telling you to become some flawless productivity machine. God, no. Comfort isn't the bad guy here. You're allowed to be tired. You're allowed to need a break. Some nights are supposed to be takeout you didn't cook, a dumb show you've already seen twice, and zero ambition whatsoever. That's not failing. That's just being a person. Rest was never the problem. The problem is when comfort quietly turns into your default escape hatch from anything hard. When every uncomfortable feeling just gets bumped one more day down the line. When every version of tomorrow you inherits a little more junk than the last one did, relief isn't free, it's just billed later. So no, the move isn't waking up Monday as a brand new disciplined human. We both know how that one ends. That guy's usually dead by Wednesday. Start smaller, like way smaller. Make tomorrow an actual person instead of some fuzzy concept, not future me's got it. Picture him. Tomorrow morning in the kitchen, head pounding, waiting on the coffee. Tomorrow at work, finally opening the message you've been dodging all week. Tomorrow night, staring at the same task, except heavier now, because it trailed you around all day like a guilty little shadow. Don't make promises to some blurry, upgraded version of yourself. Make them to the guy you'll actually be in a few hours. He's real, he's close, and honestly, he's counting on you a little. Then do one decent thing for him before you're wiped. Nobody makes smart calls at midnight on an empty tank, so set it up early. Phone charging across the room instead of on your pillow. The dock left open, the transfer on autopilot, so willpower never even enters the chat. Not because you're weak. Because dead tired, you shouldn't have to rebuild the whole plan from scratch every single night. And pick one promise so small, you can't talk your way out of it. Not a life overhaul. Something tiny. No phone in bed. Bed 10 minutes earlier. That's the whole thing. Looks like nothing, but that's how you slowly teach yourself your word still counts. Self-trust doesn't come back from big speeches. It comes back from small promises you actually keep. And the annoying thing is, it's kinda right. One time rarely does. One bad night doesn't wreck your life. One skipped workout doesn't undo your health. One pushed off task doesn't torch your future. That's exactly why it's also easy to wave off. By itself, any single one of these really is harmless. The danger was never one small comfort. It's the pattern. It's when every small comfort keeps shoving the cost in the same direction. Onto somebody who hasn't even gotten a chance to say no yet. Your future rarely falls apart in one big cinematic moment. It gets built or quietly chipped away in the boring ones. The 5 extra minutes. The message you keep not opening. The task you keep sliding to next week. The choice that feels way too small to bother with. Being an adult isn't about never wanting comfort. It's about refusing to make tomorrow carry the whole cost of tonight's relief. Anyway, if you're the type who likes catching the quiet little patterns running your life while you're not looking, yeah, that's pretty much what Noodlehead is. Go get some sleep.